The prosecutors against Young Thug are getting very desperate. They're losing this case every single court session, which obviously makes Young Thug really happy, as even today it was reported, and I quote, Young Thug and his defense team's reaction to the DA asking a witness, "Are you afraid of Jeffrey Williams?"
You said you now know who Jeffrey Williams is. Are you afraid of Jeffrey Williams?
No, I know who he is.
Hold on, man. Hold on. All right.
Which obviously you are not allowed to ask a witness this while on the stand, and even a viral comment would go and share. What I want to understand is, are they trying to waste his time and make him spend years there without having any evidence to weigh against him? Which is exactly what they are doing. However, online lawyers have expected that Young Thug's lawyer will be making a move for his release soon. As one of them would state, Young Thug's legal team is expected to push for a mistrial. The rapper's lawyers have clearly won over the jury, while the prosecutors provided little to zero evidence against him, as the jury has loved everything that Young Thug's lawyer has done for his client. Brian Steele even made Young Thug himself cry inside of court when he would state that he would put his life on the line for his client Young Thug.
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if true, that's a pretty serious accusation.
If true, I'll right now. How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the
Your
court.
Honor, I object.
I'm
I'd like
speaking
to
with
level
the
an
court.
objection.
Okay.
I'm speaking
Let him
with the
finish,
court.
and then you can state your.
My point is,
As sources inside of the courtroom stated that after Brian Steele said that, Young Thug was seen to have a tear in his eye and he was almost looking a little emotional, making it very obvious to Young Thug that he made the right decision with his lawyer staff. Brian Steele has been putting in the work for him in and out of this courtroom. He's even angry with the court system on how they have been treating his client Young Thug. And it would be announced, Young Thug's lawyer is fed up and he calls the judge in this case biased against either him or his client.
want to move the case, but when the court, it gives me no pleasure in saying this. I believe that this honorable court is biased against Mr. Williams and or his counsel, and I ask you to consider recusing yourself or don't do this again to me. This is inappropriate to me. I respect you, but what am I supposed to do? Sit there while you do this? I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what you teach me to do and the courts teach me to do.
All right.
But instead, no, I got to finish this. Then I get told to this court says by Prosecutor Love that I'm not being candid with the court and I'm misrepresenting because Mr. Bean never went to the hospital at Grady on September 11, 2013, and Miss Love has a document on her desk to prove it.
Doing that inside of a court setting and basically calling out the judge for not doing his job correctly is extremely rare. But Young Thug's lawyer is completely right in this situation. If it wasn't for the judge dragging the trial forward, it would already be over. We're even seeing rappers react by saying this YSL Rico trial doesn't even seem real. Either Thug is snitching low-key or he paid everyone off, as that is how unbelievable this trial is. As it would then be for Thug's second attorney to come to the stand. He would basically state the state prosecutor can talk the ears off of a donkey and that this trial just needs to be mistrialed already.
For giving me the moment to speak. Thank you.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the state earlier, but the state can talk the ears off a donkey. This continued filibustering has got to stop so that opposing counsel can speak.
Which obviously the state prosecutor didn't appreciate him saying this at all, where she would then stand up, start arguing with the judge as well as all of Young Thug's lawyers, and all while everyone is arguing back and forth, Young Thug is seen trading his snacks back and forth with a YSL member, watching and laughing at the arguing. As it would then be this moment why Brian Steele is making the big money and why he's the #1 lawyer in the United States at the moment, where he would end up taking complete control over the entire courtroom, making everyone focus on the task at hand, as he would singly call out the Atlanta Police Department for lying about evidence against Young Thug, which reads, "Your Honor, as my eyes roll, I'm about to show you why I don't believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all."
I have
No recording of whom.
Detective Lewis at the hospital, Grady Hospital, September 11, 2013, meets with Walter Murphy. And Your Honor, as my eyes roll out of my head, I'm about to show you why I do not believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all. This is served in discovery. I will mark it Mr. Williams C and D. And then you tell me if I'm supposed to believe the allegations
from the state of Georgia.
As let me remind you, not only has Brian Steele now called out the entire Atlanta Police Department, but he has also called out the judge for lying as well. Burning this many bridges in the court system, he is putting everything that he has on the line for his client Young Thug, and if you realize that, you'll truly appreciate his efforts, as this is exactly why it's getting heated inside of the courtroom, and let me explain. The judge would call out Young Thug's attorney for stating the Atlanta Police Department lies about evidence, almost as if the judge is trying to somehow make the police department look better to the jury, which he is not allowed to do.
Well,
Not conceding that?
well, I'm going to tell you that I haven't heard anything that would indicate that's truth.
Yeah, well,
That you have a good faith basis to ask that.
You haven't heard anything of who he spoke with. That's my point.
That's the point.
But you all can't. But you two, neither one of you can proffer that.
Judge.
It's not proper, Mr. Steele.
No. Listen.
It's not. It would be a violation before me for you to put that in front of this jury.
In the September 17, 2000.
You are saying to the court that you have a belief that there is another statement out there. There's not.
How could you say that?
Because it hasn't been brought up. If it gets brought up, then we'll correct it at that point in time. But right now, I'm going to direct you not to inquire that line. You don't have a basis to do so.
As the evidence that they are discussing is all based around a man named Adrian Bean. The Atlanta Police Department are trying to use evidence against Thug that Bean told them all the way back in 2013. However, the issue is Adrian now no longer says that he remembers giving the evidence in 2013, but the Atlanta Police Department are trying to push it through the court system when they are not allowed to. But the judge is just turning his head to all of the evidence. As the original report goes and reads, unlike Trontavious Stevens, Adrian is not bound by a plea deal. He was a part of a 2013 crime where 4 people were involved, but 1 escaped and was never caught. They need Adrian to snitch on Young Thug on the stand like he did to the police in 2013, but now he refuses. As Adrian originally snitched on Young Thug over a decade ago to the police, but since the Atlanta Police Department has taken over a decade to start the Rico trial, Adrian Bean has now allegedly forgot about the crime.
After you answer the question, which you have to do.
Because I don't remember nothing that happened in 2013. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. What I have to do is ask you some questions and determine what you do and don't remember. So, what is your response as to whether or not you recognize the images shown in Defendant's Exhibit number 8?
I don't remember.
All right. And I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit number 81. Do you recognize what's shown there?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about number 101 for Defendant Exhibits?
You see a car, but I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine. Is your answer the same for Defendant's Exhibit number 82, number 89, and Defendant's Exhibit 90?
Yes, ma'am.
Lots can happen within 11 years. The crime did occur in 2013, but some sources state that YSL members likely paid Adrian off to not snitch against Young Thug. So the state prosecutors would basically ask him, did he get paid to not snitch anymore? But Adrian would go and reveal why he forgot, stating that he had a lot of issues go on within the last decade, from in and out of the prison system and even issues with narcotics.
I really don't have any knowledge about 2013, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't really have any knowledge about 2013. Once I went to prison and came home from prison and done my time, everything that happened in 2013 or whatever has been put behind me and set forth. So I've been, working and just doing my thing since I came home from prison. I don't have no knowledge of nothing that happened 10 years ago.
With Adrian no longer snitching, the only person that is now gonna have hard evidence against Young Thug is the main police investigator. He has been following YSL and Young Thug for 10 years. However, Brian Steele would make him look clueless inside of the courtroom, as the investigator claimed that when the YSL snitch Trontavious Stevens gave the definition of the word slime, that he was actually lying on the stand.
Word slime, what does it mean?
Good question. That's a good question. So, the S is for slug, the L is for love, the I is for I, the M is for me, and the E for everything.
That is the only thing that slime meant to you when you had that tattoo put in your body.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it means to. That's what that tattoo means to me.
Is slime ever used in any other kind of way? As by you or any of the people that
like breaking it down, how I do it.
No, like the meaning of the word slime.
No, it's slime.
But Thug's lawyer explained that Trontavious was telling the truth and even asked the investigator if he even tried Googling what slime means to YSL members, which he would be exposed inside of the courtroom.
Did you hear that, Detective?
I did.
Okay. Now, when you gave your testimony yesterday about you've never heard anyone describe slime in the way you just heard on Mr. Williams' number 142, did you ever do a Google search?
No, I did not.
Did you know that question was coming?
No, sir.
You had no idea that the state was going to ask you that question?
No, I thought you meant your question.
No. Yesterday on direct exam, you knew that question was coming, right?
I did. I knew the state was going to ask me what slime meant, yes.
And did you do anything in preparation to say, I want to make sure my testimony is accurate?
I did.
But you never bothered to Google music?
Thug's lawyer Brian Steele had a hunch the entire time this guy wasn't even investigating anything for over the last decade, so he would expose his lack of research in front of everyone, likely resulting in him getting fired from his job.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, you went through that entire Tumblr account to educate yourself for your testimony for the jurors, am I correct?
No, sir. This is the only post from this Tumblr account that I've reviewed.
You didn't look at all of Mr. Williams' Tumblr account?
No, sir.
How did you know to review this one picture?
Well, when the state asked me to review these particular tweets, this is one that was linked within one of the tweets I was asked to review, and I was asked to review this post from that link.
You weren't curious to know what else is on that Tumblr account?
I was not, no.
Well, since you come back, I'm inviting you to look at it if you want to. But every one of those posts has to do with music. Do you realize that?
Objection, hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
As what really won the jury over and likely the entire court system is when Brian Steele would stand on business once again and would challenge the investigator to go home, do more research on Young Thug, then come back with an answer, which having your lawyer this confident inside of the courtroom is an unbelievable sight.
Do you know, as you sit here, what all the other Tumblr posts deal with?
Objection.
Basis.
It would be speculation because he said he has not.
I sustain the objection.
You do me a favor. If you come back, which I'll call you if you need, I want you to review all that Tumblr, okay?
Sure.
Account. And then you tell the jurors everything else that's on that Tumblr account, okay?
Sure.
And tell them if it has anything other than music-oriented promotion, okay?
Well, I would say even this photo has more than just music promotion.
That's great.
As this really seems like a joke and an embarrassment of the entire police department, having their main investigator at 10 years not even doing his job of investigating. The investigator, though, knew he had to bring some sort of evidence to court to try to make him look somewhat decent, so he would go and expose two rappers in the industry for having street ties connected to Young Thug, where first he would go on to expose Lil Wayne, having the same affiliation to the street team Young Thug is in.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-trained experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury if you need to stand with the stick and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.
As the investigator is trying to prove to the jury that rappers do have street affiliations, with the second rapper he would expose is YNW Melly, where the two rappers were involved in a Facebook post together with an interesting caption.
Same thing, the use of the slap term 5-point star, the snake. He's saying he's YSL. He's hanging with Young Thug. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Devins has big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also the Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.